Alright, I
Yeah,
see the tarot cards coming out. I see
yeah.
them. Now, let
I
me ask you, as you're
listen.
shuffling, are
Yes.
you allowed to go out and buy your own deck, or do you have to wait for somebody to buy a deck and give it to you?
I love this question. It's one of the myths surrounding tarot that I absolutely dislike. No, do not ever give your power away, which is our volition over ourselves. You go out and get your own deck because think about it. Why are we going to just wait? Hopefully, someone's going to buy this deck for us at some point, and hopefully, it's a deck that we actually like. Because
Right.
my friend, her name is Honor Noble, and she's great and she helped me with my group as far as, we had a book club for a while. So me and her did that together. But like she told me, when you go and you see a deck, you just see the box, right? Now, I tell people to type the name of the deck into Google and then select images and see if those images resound with you. Because I've had decks gifted to me where, of course, it was very sweet. I'm grateful for it. I open it up but the art I don't connect with, and it's like dating. That's what Honor
Yeah,
told me. You
I
do
get
y
that.
you meet this person, they look good, and then you look on the inside, and it's like, "Wait, we're not vibing." The other caveat is you want it based in the Rider-Waite. So Rider-Waite is, like, the foundation of tarot. So a lot of decks, they will deviate with their artistic liberties to where it's not even close to the traditional meaning of the card. So if
Gotcha.
someone is learning and they get one of these artsy decks, I tell them either buy a book to where you can look up the traditional one so you can learn your deck, or either get a book because there's so many. And then that way you can learn easier if you have to buy one that's not based in Rider Waite Smith, you know? Now I'm
Gotcha.
looking for the moon card because I want to show you what the moon card looks like, just to briefly revisit the one question about my painting, because that was behind me an artistic liberty, which I don't mind. I've been reading for years to where I can deviate. But as a new reader, it can be confusing if you get one, depending on how far out they go. So let's see. Oh, I'll put this guy off to the side because he gets some strong reactions from people. But I'm going to find our moon for us. There's
Was
the
that the tower?
The tower is in here. Let me see here. The
'Cause
tower is
that's a scary looking card. It really is.
it reminds me of 9/11 when I see the tower, and here, I just found it because I was in the military serving during 9/11, and I remember when the footage was on the TV of people jumping from buildings
Mm.
or from that building, from the tower to their death, it looked like a movie. And I remember I had an officer in that room with another high ranking man who were looking at this projecting screen with that imagery. And we knew our life was going to change at that point. And so for me personally, I had to ship blood to New York with people I worked with for their emergency efforts that evening. And I think as we're getting further and further away from that event, our younger people may not even know about it, but that's where the Homeland Security came from and these measures at the airport to keep us safe. It's because somebody stole a plane to crash it into the towers. But with the tower, so other than my personal one, what I initially see is reflecting back on an experience I had. This is just when life happens. Because at times in life, bad things are going to happen to good people. I do believe in karma, but also believe that sometimes crummy things happen to them. It doesn't mean they deserved it or anything, but the beauty of the tower is picking up the rubble, the bricks, to build something even stronger and more secure from a foundation that may have had cracks in it. So sometimes in our life, things that we put off and maybe not address or life happens gives us the opportunity to let go and embrace change.
What a positive
You know,
spin on
all
that.
of them have
I love
medicine.
that.
There is no bad card in tarot, even though they're labeled as bad. I'm going to show you a scary one to many people,
Okay.
which is a big reason people don't pick up a deck. The devil.
Yes, that is very scary to me. That freaks me out and says, "Oh my god, the devil's gonna get you." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very
What
scared of
he
it.
what he does is he does not invite there is no negative entity in my house. Just so you know, just because he's part of my decks, this is paper. I'm not healing anything in here. Just a symbol doesn't have power unless we give it power. That's a different subject. But with this imagery, if you look, it's an Adam and Eve figure. I'm just zooming
Mhm.
it in. You see how the chains are very loosely around their neck,
Yep.
and how
Uh-huh.
with the man, it's a flame. So he's addicted to power. The female has grapes, so she likes the good things in life, right? But see how the chains are loose around their neck? So if they wanted to, they could leave that devil and feeling bound, but they choose to be there. So when this uncomfortable card comes up in a reading, it's not meant to be comfortable. It can show addiction issues, whether that be overeating, substance abuse, it could be someone hasn't dealt with a childhood trauma and it's still, influencing them as an adult. It's the things that hold us down and feel overwhelming to where we feel like we're trapped and we can't go past it, but really we can by talking about it and getting help, which then, of course, I have these conversations and I do recommend professional help, because I will
Wow.
never replace a therapist or a doctor.
Right.
This is a tool for that insight and goal setting is all it is. There's a lot of people who aren't spiritual who use tarot too. Yeah, counselors. I've heard some people are allowed to
Really?
bring a tarot deck in to work to converse with their patients, and they're not spiritual.
That's so interesting. I would never have thought that.
It's because it's one of our senses. We're visual. So when we see a picture, we're already telling a story in our head.
Picture. I
Just
love that picture.
It's warmth, illumination, clarity,
Happiness, the little baby.
happiness, like your podcast. It's you, you're very bubbly. But it doesn't mean that our life is perfect and good. It just shows that there's more illumination there. Sunflowers also very good. But see, it's like breaking down the wall. So I have a reverse image here. But you see that wall behind the child on this white horse. White
Yeah.
color has meaning in tarot, white meaning a fresh start. Gotta break down that wall. There's a journey on the other side of it, and yes, there's illumination there. We gotta pull that wall apart if it's not meant to be there. If it's not good for us because it distances us from others and experiences, just because we don't wanna feel vulnerable or scared. If it's a life change, like moving or switching a job
Yeah,
or
yeah.
leaving a relationship where you love the person, but they're not good for you, which I will never tell anyone to do. I've had some people tell me, should I leave so and
Oh,
so? And
yeah,
I tell
yeah.
them, that is not my choice to make. That is your choice to make. This is what you've told me, and you need to reflect on that.
So now does the deck tell them to leave, or does the deck tell them what will happen if they choose to leave versus if they choose to stay?
Well, very good question. So what I do, so say if I shuffle, for example, and because you don't have a table view, I won't bother doing the whole spread. But if I do, say, even a 3 card pull, it has shown me if there's a strain in that relationship and if it would probably be good for that person to walk away. But however, I will tell people, ooh, I see something's off here. Are you in a relationship? I'm usually very direct because I mostly go in blind. People don't ask me what they want to know. And they'll be like, yes. Well, how is that going? Well, that's good. It's good. Okay, it is. Well, very good. But then sometimes their mom or their friend will look over at them and be like, that's not right.
So they're not honest.
Not always. Well, they don't know me. So at first, it's hard to open up to somebody, even though I'm like a mom figure. I'm like a Southern mom. To where I love everybody. But it's hard to open up about stuff that they've been kind of maybe ashamed about or they're in pain about. So then they'll open up a little bit to me and then we'll explain whatever's going on. If it's a case of domestic abuse, then we're talking about, okay, how can we get you and maybe even your kids, if kids are in that setting, out safely? This is my concern. Have you considered this? Do you have family to stay with? Because sometimes it does come up, or it could just be a crummy boyfriend, or where the cards show it's not a healthy relationship. But someone, I'll tell them what I'm seeing because I don't sugarcoat, and they'll be like, "No, that's not what that means. So and so is awesome." And I'm like, "Your meaning has value, and I'm glad that it's a happy relationship. It's just that's your cards are telling me something different, but I'm glad that you believe it's a good one." I don't sit and argue with people because I get cynics too who want to argue about every card. And
Yeah.
those are some of my least favorite readings. I don't mind reading for a cynic. I'll read for anybody, but I'll pull clarifying cards. So if I do, say, a 3 card spread, and they'll tell me that, okay, this card didn't make sense to me at all, then I'll pull another card from my deck for more information, essentially. It adds to our narrative, our story, right? But then they'll want more clarifying cards just for more bang for their buck. I had one lady at a huge event where I had to do 10-minute readings because I had women lined up outside my tent. They're all wanting their readings, and they get mad if they don't get them because I gotta be efficient. She's like, "I already pulled her 3 clarifiers." She's like, "No, I want another one." I'm like, "Ma'am, your timer went off. Your reading is done, and I wish you will." And she got ugly on me. She's like, "Well, my friends wouldn't even be at your tent if I didn't bring them." I'm like, "Well, thank you for bringing your friends, but I have to be respectful of the other people who are waiting for their turn. You've had your time. I appreciate your business, and I hope you have fun." But they're rare that they will drain your energy, and I gotta, like, make sure I eat, so I have my water, my snacks. I nibble in between readings sometimes because some of these events have a couple thousand people at them,
My,
and not
my.
enough readers. There's still not enough readers, and so they will be booked up, and we're
Well,
busting it,
it
you
really
know?
is telling that so many people are so interested, that there are so many people out there who are looking. And I'm going to, because I know we're running out of time, I'm going to
Okay.
ask you selfishly to either give our readers, I mean, not our readers, I'm sorry, our viewers, to give our viewers maybe a 3 card reading, or maybe the show. How is the show gonna do with the new pivot? Like,
Ooh, let's
whatever you wanna read on.
let's see. I will draw 1 card about your show, and then I'll do a 3 card for the collective. Sound good?
Beautiful. I absolutely love that.
Very good. And now what I'm using is this Rider-Waite Smith deck. So it's like the old school card, but it's radiant. So they've got softer colors to them. And so when I'm shuffling, I generally shuffle till I feel like I'm done. Now each reader does something different. So you'll see different things. So for me, this card stuck out to me as I was shuffling. So I look for deviations. And I say the King of Pentacles for your show. This shows someone who's successful. Okay, there's mastery with this card, so that's a resounding yes, that your
So
pivoting will work well with your show, you know?
so thank
Because
you.
yes, like, this it I mean, yes, it's a guy in the card, but we don't sweat if it's a boy or a girl, but it shows that stability, and it also shows kinda sticking to your beliefs, so there's that Taurus on either side, those little bull heads on his
Huh?
hair.
Yeah.
That shows that you have an idea of where you're going. Trust yourself in your direction with where you're going. And I think it will resound with viewers that you're interacting with people and getting very diverse ideas on things. And it's such an uplifting podcast. Like, we need more happiness in the world,
Awesome.
you
Thank you
know?
so much. Oh, that's so fun.
It's exciting. And there's a lot of yellow in that card, too. It shows that you've got that knowledge, illumination, from your experiences and your ideas. So, and then as far as our collective reading, let's see what we get here. All right. So, we got a very cool reading here. The first being the Queen of Wands. This is like the sexiest queen in tarot. Very confident. Again, we got that sunflower in play, the little black cat. It is a nod to the mystic, to the faith, the things that we're trying to define. But it shows knowing who we are, what we want to do in life, and being creative and having that outlet. And no matter how we identify ourselves, to be proud of that. And then also The Six of Swords shows moving away from conflict and obstacles. So here it's leaving behind what no longer serves us. Now, in this card, you can't see where they're going, right? But it does show that we're moving away from the old to embrace the new. And I think, especially with it being like springtime in the Northern
Yeah.
Hemisphere, it's about planting our gardens. It's about getting outside. Let's work on our yards and take those walks and get to know people around us. If there's something that we've been interested in doing, that's how we fill our theoretical cups with a good thing to where we have energy, like a full gas tank for our careers, our family, the things that we care about instead of starting the day half empty. One shows a little bit of conflict there. Ones are all
Yeah.
about the creative endeavors. So everybody's trying to get their word in. There may be some conflicts. But the thing is, if we don't make the time for ourselves and prioritize it for the things we want to accomplish in life, we're never going to do them. So it's all about setting goals and making small changes to meet those goals.
Oh, I
So,
love So I
yeah.
love that thank you so much for giving our viewers a read that was so cool. And thank you for coming on the show. I have so enjoyed talking to you. This has been such a great morning for me. So thank you.
You have been such a blessing to me too. I love your channel. I am a fan. I follow you. I just love that you're so open minded and you're kind. I wish we could clone you because you make the world better just by your personality. You're like a ray of sunshine.
Thank you so much. And guys, reach out, get a tarot card reading. And say it again. What is it?
Yes.
Mountain Crow Tarot?
Mountain Crow Tarot is the name of my website. So if you type that in, but you can make an appointment with me on there. It does have a tab to communicate with me, and it will send me an email to my Mountain Crow Tarot email as far as setting up a good date and time. I do in person if you're in the Missouri area by St. Louis. If you're not in my area, I certainly do a lot of virtual readings, and I'm really good at those to where I prefer Google Meet. It's very easy to use. I can see the person and interact with them like we are, go over the cards, have that really nice dialogue, and then send them an email with a picture of their spread and the meaning with the interpretation.
Wow, that
Yeah,
is
I go
very
above and
nice.
beyond. I
You
very
really do.
I value people. They work hard for their money, and I want to give them their money's worth. And I always tell them if they have an interest in tarot, just to write me. I don't charge for my knowledge sharing. If they have a question, man, this card has me stumped, I will help them, you
That's
know?
beautiful.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And please reach out. Get your tarot card reading from the most ethical, most sincere, most loving heart that we have had.
Well,
And please like and subscribe. So the next time that we drop a podcast, you will be alerted. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Thank you again. Bye,
thank you,
guys.
guys.